Hi, good morning. So in today's session, we will see variables and data types in Python. And in yesterday's session, we have seen basic syntax of Python like indentation and comment section. So those are very, very important for every basic beginner to write a Python program. So in today's session, we will be looking at variables and data types. So no, like when we create a program, we often like to store values so that it can be used later. Programs use variables to access and manipulate data that is stored in memory. So variable is variable is used to store values in memory so that we can manipulate or use those variables that is stored in memory. So the basic purpose of having variables is to store values in memory so that we can use those variables to extract the value from memory, or you can manipulate that value and again store it into memory. So name that represents a value in that computer's memory. Okay. So when you look at the computer memory, so the name is going to be referred there that refers the actual value which is storing it. So there are different variety syntaxes of having variables in different programming languages. But when it comes to Python, so straight away you can declare a variable whatever you want. So there is no need in declaring a variable like if you look at a programming language, so integer some a or dim a as integer. So there are different syntaxes in different programming languages to declare a variable a like this. Or here in this space you can give private or public something. But when it comes to Python, the Python syntax was syntax of is just declare a variable. Declare variable. Example, if I want to use just declare a variable and assign a value. Declare a variable and assign value. This is must. You should not simply say yay and should not leave that value like that. Because when you compile the program, the interpreter is going to throw you an exception saying that it was not assigned any value. So in the Python, in Python, there is a good feature called when you assign a value, then only it is going to be assigned a data type to the variable. Like here, I'm going to assign 10. That means this 10 is an integer value. Hence, the Python interpreter is going to assign integer data type to this variable a. Until unless you assign a value, it does not assign a data type to the variable. But when it comes to another programming languages, before assigning a value, you need to declare a variable which is going to be store a value saying that integer a and private a as integer, public a as integer something. But when it comes to Python, it looks like different way we need to use these variables. So now I'm going to write sample program called sum of two numbers. Let's see how it would be. This is the program I'm going to write. Let us say a equal to 10 and b equal to 20, then c equal to a plus b, and then print sum of numbers or you know double quotes and this. This is the program for sum of two numbers. So here I'm assigning 10 and 20 for a and b variables. Then these variables will get declared as integer. So that means in Python, int means integer means int. It is going to assign. There's two variables assigning as int, and here also you are storing a plus b value, hence it is assigning data type as integer. Let's run this program in Python editor. Go to editor here and you write a program here. Okay, and just remove this part and just compile this program. So before that, what you will do is, it is always good suggestion that you keep a comment here what actually the program is doing. Sum of two numbers program. Okay. So when you save it, when you run this program, the command terminal, it is going to give you the sum of these two numbers. That means it is going to assign a value without specifying data type, and it is going to assign the data type at the runtime based on a value, and it is considering as integer. Okay, let's go back to this board. Now, how to create a variable? Creating variables. So creating a variables in Python, variable is created when we assign a value. This is universal fact that in Python which got implemented. So in following code, two variables a and b are created, like a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. So when I say equal 10 and b equal 20, then the Python interpreter is going to create two variables a and b. Now, creating multiple variables in single statement with different values. If you want to create multiple variables with the different values, the single statement, what is the syntax? The syntax would be a comma b comma c. I want to create three variables which is having 10, 20, 30. Then this is the syntax. A comma b comma c equal to 10 comma 20 comma 3. That means the 10 is going to be assigned to a, and 20 is going to be assigned to b, and 30 is going to be assigned to c. Okay, let's see how it is working in the editor. So I'm just commenting this section and declaring a comma b equal to 20 comma 10. Now when I run this program here, it's going to work, right? This is how creating multiple variables in single line with different values. Now you may have a question, how to assign same value for multiple variables. Creating multiple variables in single statement with same value. How to do that? But it is not similar syntax as we have above. It would be like, a equal to b equal to, c equal to, then assign 20, 30. This is the syntax. You go and check here, x equal to y equal to z equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30. This is the syntax of. If you want to assign same value, you can give it same value like this. I thought it would be same. If you want to give multiple values, we will use the syntax. But when it comes to same value, it would be equal. Now go and see and run here, creating multiple variables in single line of statement with same value. Okay. So now I'm just commenting this and coming here. Let us say c equal to x plus y plus z. And when I run my Python program, it is going to go 30. 10 is assigned to x, 10 is assigned to y, 10 is assigned to z. 10 plus 10 plus 10, 30. So this is how we are going to declare multiple variables with same value in single statement. Now, uh, this is how you are going to create a variable. Now we will see like how can we create a variable and what are all these standard rules for naming variables. So there are rules for naming of variable and we should follow that. And we should follow that because This is very important that you should not give any different keywords or any the special characters kind of stuff. So first one is a variable. So the variable name can be any size. That means we don't have any restriction to give a naming length. So name length could be anything, and you can give any length of name. And the second one is a variable name have allowed characters which are A to Z and lowercase and uppercase of this, and 0 to 9 and underscore. So it allows only one special character, that is underscore, and other special characters you should not use in the variable name. And coming to the next one, a variable should begin with an alphabet or underscore. So we should give generally variable name starting letter as alphabet or underscore, should not like number or any other special character. And next one is a variable name should not be a keyword. This is very important to remember that we should not give any keyword as part of variable name. So there are a couple of variable keywords in Python. Those we should not use it as part of giving a variable name. If you look at keywords, we have these many keywords, and these are very important. And going forward, we are going to use this. Already we have used print, and we are going to use other keywords in coming sessions. And these keywords should not be used as part of this variable name declaration. Let's look at here. If you want to give this C variable as something like n, and if you go and here, it is going to throw you exception. Let's see like how it works. It tells you invalid syntax because it's a keyword and you should not use it. So hence it is always advised to do not use keyword when you give a variable name. Okay, that is one of the rule here. And coming to this, another one is a variable name cannot contain spaces. And fifth rule is you should not give any spaces as part of variable name. Like if you want to give this C as like sum of two numbers kind of name which is having like this, it is going to tell you it is not a valid variable. If you want, you can give it by specifying underscore in between this like this, and still that is valid because it started with alphabet and it contains only underscore as special character here. So still it is valid. Okay. So these are the different naming rules which everyone should follow when you are going to declare a variable. So going forward, we will see data types. What is a data type and what are data types we have in Python? So data type is nothing but the kind of value you are storing in the variable, and again that variable is going to store in memory, right? So if you look at other programming languages based on the data type, it is going to create a space because each and every data type is having some limitations in the length wise. But when it comes to Python, we don't have any length. That is what I said. Even variable name also not having any size, and also content wise and value wise also it should not have any length here. You can store any lengthy value. Okay. So in Python, the data type is set when you assign a value. So as I mentioned in the above, so the data type is going to be assigned when you assign a value. That means examples. If I say like x equal to hello, this is going to be assigned string data type, and after you assign a value. When you say y equal to 200, it is integer. That means things are very easy here. That means data types are going to be assigned based on value. Hence, as a developer, no need to worry on these data types. You can check you can check type of any value or variable by using type function here. If you want, you can check type of, that means data type of variable using type function. Let's go back to the editor and see here. I'm going to create a function, another one, data type dot py. So here I'm going to declare x equal to Python session. And I want to see like what data type it is assigning by interpreter. So you use type of x. Okay, if you want to print that, you use this print function. And after running this Python data type dot py. So here it is saying str class. That means a string type. Similarly, I'm going to declare 200y. So this is not required now, and I can print this type of y. Now let's run the same program. It is going to give you integer. Okay. X variable data type is, you can write like this. Y variable data type is, you can write this. Okay. And I'm going to float value. Let us say that is 8.5. Now I'm going to print this data type. This is a data type. And what is the data type? It is giving after sending a value. When I run this program, it is giving me like x variable data type is string, y variable data type is integer, and z variable data type is float. So this is how you are going to identify or knowing the relevant data type of your variables using type function. Coming to here, uh, let's look at different data types what we have in Python. So there are different data types in Python. One is numeric types, okay, and second is string types, and third one is sequence types. I think third one is Boolean type, and fourth one is sequence, and the fifth one is comes to the numeric data types. So we have you know two types of numeric data types. They are int and float. So when it comes to int, so the int type is designated integer or in Python. So that means there is no limit to how long an integer value can be, and you can still assign any value to this, and it is only having numbers. So that also we need to mention. There is no limit to how long a number can be. You can store any length of value. And this another one is float. The float type is designated for floating in Python. That means float values are specified with decimal point. So here also you can store any length number. There is no limit here. And coming to the string type, so we have only one type, that is str. But as I mentioned that intro, we usually call text as a string. String is a sequence of one or more characters, so it is enclosed in a single quote or double quotes. If you want a string literal to contain either a single quote or an apostrophe s as part of the string, you can enclose the string literal in double quote marks. So if the string is having any apostrophe as a single quote or double quotes, then the assigning of the value would be different. So the int, the str type is designated a string or text in Python, and it is going to enclosed with single or double quotes. So examples, a equal to welcome to Python. So this is normal syntax, how you are going to store string value into variable. Then it is assigning a as a string variable. Let us say that if I have a string like w attended class question mark, or you attended the class Python variables and data types. If you want to assign this string, how you are going to assign? Already the string contains double quotes here. I should not use again double quotes. At the time you use single quote here, like this. And I'm going to assign this to B variable. Suppose if my string is having single quote, let us say like my value is, let's do it. It is already having single quote. Then how you are assigning it? You should be enclosed using double quotes in this case. Okay, so let's say c equal to this variable. So this is what a string data type in Python. And coming to the boolean, we have only one variable, one data type is bool. This is only the data type we have. So the bool designated for boolean values. And coming to the sequence types, so here we have a couple of data types like list, tuple, range, and we will look at these aspects in coming sessions more on this. List is going to be store multiple values with different data types and the same data type, and tuple also similarly is having the feature of storing multiple values, and range again is going to range, and it is depends on the range you are going to specify, and in that range it is going to give navigations between values. And coming to the last one, it is having dictionary, so where it is similar to list, but it is key based, index based, and it is a little bit different when compared to list. So list is actually accepting objects as well. When it comes to dictionary, it is going to allow multiple data types. We'll look at all these four data types in the coming sessions and see like examples how it is going to work in Python. So, so these are all the data types what we have in Python, and we can use based on the need and based on the requirement in your program. So when you say like if you want to use a kind of list, so you just assign the list kind of values, it is going to assign list data type to your variable. Similarly, other data types as well. No. So if you want to start programming in Python, you need to understand one more function called reading of values or input from keyboard concept. So reading input from keyboard. So how to read input from keyboard? This we need to understand, because most of the times we are getting input values from the end user and they're going to give values from the UI or in console. Those values you should need to read, right? So here we have a function input. So this function is used to read the values from keyboard console. Okay. By default, this function will read and capture. Default, this function capture or read value in string format, that is str. If you want to convert the read value to an integer or float or some other different data type, you need to use the relevant data type. So example, so I want to read a name from the console. Then name equal to input of enter name. And I want to read age. How to read it? Input enter age. So here thing is age would be in integer, but it is giving string. Then how I'm going to do it? So at the time you need to use a convert this to integer as like this. So let's write a simple program to understand like this input function. I'm going to create input file here. So here the first one is reading name from keyboard. And next one is reading age from keyboard. And this is display of name and age. Let us see like for this initially we give name equal to input of please enter name, right? And when it comes to age equal to input of please enter age. Alright, so display this the name entered was name, age entered was age. So if I execute this, so now see Python input.py enter name Ramana and age was 19. It is displaying like this. This is fine because displaying is always considering a string, hence no need in having a problem. But if you want to read a integer values, float values, and use it in for calculation, then you will get a problem. Let's see that how it would be. And let's create one more file here, or you keep here reading width equal to input enter width reading length equal to input enter length. Now here I'm going to calculate area. Calculating area. So area equal to length or width into length. Now printing the area of rectangle is, so if you look at here, see how it is going to work. I'm just running this program here and Ramana and this is displaying fine. Again, it asking enter width. Let us say 244. Length is 10.5. It is throwing an exception saying that cannot multiply sequence. That means here I'm using arithmetic operator on string values. So I should convert, right? So to convert this, use float because values might be in the float. Convert float, and this also you convert float. Now you see 19 and the width is 234 and length is 10.5. Now my value is this thing. So it is how it is going to work out when you read a value from the input. So you should be ensure that, so based on the need, you need to convert that input function to relevant data types. Okay, fine. So this is all about reading input from keyboard and different data types and variable creation in the Python. I hope you understand. So let me know if you have any doubts in this session. Just going to stop sharing here. Okay, fine. Thank you. Thanks.